to address the looming $1 billion Union Lincoln parishes. Gearing up for budget woes in 2018, state lawmakers are preparing for gearing up for budget woes in to call lawmakers plus. Let's try that again. The governor is expected to call lawmakers billion plus. Let's try that again. To try to come up with a plan to address in February. To try to come up with a plan to address the looming $1 billion plus. Let's try that again. The governor is expected to call lawmakers to Baton Rouge in February to try to come. The governor is expected to call in the state. Damn it, I was taken from the top. Gearing up for budget Baton Rouge. Gearing up for budget woes in 2018, state lawmakers are preparing for a special KEEL. Story number 2. A Benton car dealer pleads guilty in a bank fraud case. 41-year-old Larry Wayne Toms Jr. pled guilty to take. Tom entered a plea on one count of one count of bank fraud. Tom's entered a plea on one count of bank fraud. I'm Brandon Michael on 101. Tom's entered a plea on one count of bank fraud. I'm Brandon. A Benton.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
The area around Lake Bistineau and Union and Lincoln parishes are under a burn ban. The area around Lake Bistineau and Bossier Parish is also included. Several counties in northeast Texas and southwest Arkansas are also under the burn bans until we get a significant rainfall. Hot, dry conditions have left our region in jeopardy of fires. That's why burn bans are in place for several areas.
To try with help and also play. Gearing up for budget woes next year. State lawmakers
Gearing up for budget woes in 2018, state lawmakers are preparing for a special session. The governor is expected to call lawmakers to Baton Rouge in February to try to come up with a plan to address the looming $1 billion plus shortfall the state faces when temporary taxes expire in the summer. I'm Brandon Michael on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
The KEEL Morning Show with Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Breaking news and trending talk on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning. It's 3 past 6 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Erin's got local news just a couple of seconds away.
Lawmakers could be getting a Christmas gift from the governor. We'll tell you more about that. Hot, dry conditions resulting in burn bans. And Louisiana slips from a B to a D. Why?
Another celebrity name added to the list of, I was going to say sexual harassers. In this case, sexual harassers who are looking for a new job.
Oh, boy.
We can talk about a rumor. We just can't say what the rumor is. Can you find out by 7 o'clock?
I think so, yeah.
Plus, Fletcher, we can tease you about that. We just can't tell you yet.
Right.
Fletcher and sports, traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
Aw, your excitement has built up all year long just thinking of the gifts you couldn't wait to give, and now they're right at their fingertips. The perfect gift for the pizza fanatic. Johnny's gift cards plus pizza equals a joyful holiday. Johnny's gift cards make a great stocking stuffer. Pick yours up today at any Johnny's Pizza House. From your friends at Johnny's Pizza House, Merry Christmas. Let's share a slice with a Johnny's gift card.
Arr, I broke me screen with me hook hand.
Go to Experamac.
Aye, but don't Apple products be too expensive to fix?
Not an Experamac.
And what if me wants to trade it in for a new one?
Just go to Experamac.
Ain't that the computer and iPhone store on Line Avenue across from Superior? Or ye be talking about the one on Airline in front of Strons and Bossier?
They're both Experamac.
Avast me matey. Hoist the mainsail, stiffen your britches, and set sail for Experamac.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The red ink is piling up in Baton Rouge. Greg Adams says the governor has a plan.
Governor John Bel Edwards spent time yesterday speaking with House Republicans about the state's looming $1.1 billion budget deficit. He's wanting to call a special session early next year to address the problem. He wants the legislature to approve a tax code that stabilizes the state's budget, which he says would be beneficial to the state's economy. 1 penny of the state's 5-cent sales tax expires on June 30th of next year, thus causing the proposed deficit. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Greg Adams.
A Benton car dealer pleads guilty in a bank fraud case. 41-year-old Larry Wayne Toms Jr. pled guilty to taking out $177,000 in fake loans for 3 cars that didn't exist. Toms entered a plea on 1 count of bank fraud. Hot, dry conditions leave our region in jeopardy of wildfires. That's why burn bans are now in place in several areas. Caddo, Webster, DeSoto, Union, and Lincoln parishes are under a burn ban. The area around Lake Bistineau in Bossier Parish is also included. Several counties in northeast Texas and southwest Arkansas are also under burn bans until we get a significant rainfall. A report card on state efforts to improve financial literacy in our high schools has Louisiana at a D, down from a B just a couple of years ago. Mendon State Representative Gene Reynolds authored a 2016 law that requires financial literacy to be taught in high schools, but it appears some schools are only teaching personal finance as another existing course of study.
I think we're going to have to put it in the curriculum if we're going to make sure that this gets taught.
Only 3 other states, Montana, Vermont, and Wyoming, got a D grade, while the District of Columbia got an F. A huge loss in the education world. Dr. Vincent Marsala, who spent many years as chancellor of LSU Shreveport, has died. Dr. Marsala's funeral is Monday at 10 at St. Elizabeth Seton in Shreveport. Marsala retired 5 years ago. He was 82. Louisiana once again ranks 49th out of 50 states in a health ranking report. America's Health Rankings annual report analyzes 35 health guidelines. The CEO of United Healthcare Joe Ochapinti says the Bayou State ranks near the bottom because a quarter of our residents smoke, and that in turn raises other health-related issues.
Smoking continues to drive other areas like cardiovascular death. So we've seen cardiovascular deaths increase in just over 1%, cause lung cancer.
Financial story to tell you about Colonel Mike Edmondson under public scrutiny for how he spent taxpayer dollars while he was head of state police. Governor Edwards says the investigation continues and the legislative auditor has released a preliminary report.
It's that report that's generating the questions. Until it's final, I'm not going to comment on it because I expect that it's going to be changed to some degree, and I happen to believe that it should be changed to some degree.
Sports note, LSU starting QB Danny Etling familiar with the Tigers' bowl opponent, Notre Dame. Etling grew up in Indiana, attended games in South Bend as a kid, and also played against Notre Dame while at Purdue. Etling says it's a little bit ironic his final college game will be against the Golden Domers.
I remember when I played against them, they're a real physical team, and they always have a lot of pride, and they always have a lot of athletes and talent, so that's something that we'll have to be ready for, and we've already started watching a little bit of film and kind of working toward putting together a game plan.
The Citrus Bowl is January 1st. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Guys, wouldn't your wife or girlfriend love it if you treated her to the very best this Christmas? Well, you can, and you don't even have to go out of your way. We're talking about the world's soft...
The
Robert J. Wright here once again for Quirby's Golf Course, the golf course that everybody across the Arklatex is talking about, because every
The KEEL Morning Show with Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Breaking news and trending talk on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
3 past 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Down yonder, Erin's got local news, and it looks ready to go.
A local school closed because of a water main break. The mayor's in a little friendly competition today. We'll tell you about that. And the lack of rain is causing some problems.
So Louisiana, like 49th out of 50 in health care. Erin's got details about that, but what does that mean? I mean, what should we do to make it better, especially considering the reasons? Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather, and it's all coming up this hour right here on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's good news. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late. Your circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings and your assets. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's no need to worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-420-2121. 800-420-2121. That's 800-420-2121.
The KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Green Oaks Performing Arts Academy closed today due to a water main break in the neighborhood. Due to a lack of water at the campus, Dr. Lamar Gorey has made the decision to close the school today. Classes will resume tomorrow. City crews have worked throughout the night and believe they will have the break fixed by sometime this afternoon. The mayors in Shreveport and Bossier need your help today. They'll be ringing the red kettle bell to support the Salvation Army in a little friendly competition. Mayor Tyler will be at the Brookshires on Line Avenue. Mayor Walker will be on the other side of the red at the Kroger on Airline Drive in Bossier. Each mayor will be at their respective locations from 10 until noon today. Lack of rain causing some problems. More on that from Brandon Michael.
Hot, dry conditions have left our region in jeopardy of fires. That's why burn bans are in place for several areas. Caddo, Webster, DeSoto, Union, and Lincoln parishes are under a burn ban. The area around Lake Bistineau and Bossier Parish is also included. Several counties in northeast Texas and southwest Arkansas are also under the burn bans until we get a significant rainfall. I'm Brandon Michael on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Gearing up for budget woes in 2018, state lawmakers are preparing for a special session during the early part of the year. The governor expected to call lawmakers to Baton Rouge in February to try to come up with a plan to address our state's $1 billion shortfall. Now we're facing that shortfall when the temporary taxes go off the books in the summer. A report card on state efforts to improve financial literacy in our schools gives Louisiana a D. We had a B a couple of years ago. Minden State Representative Gene Reynolds says he plans to discuss the problem with Bessie to make sure students are getting adequate financial literacy training.
If I have to file a bill to do it, I will, but I think Bessie can handle it. They could probably change the curriculum and not have a bill just to force people to do things. Because sometimes when you force people to do things, they don't do as well as, they're part of the process.
Only 3 other states, Montana, Vermont, and Wyoming, got a D, while the District of Columbia got an F. More info about the duo found dead in a South Louisiana lake. Greg Adams with that.
The St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office says they have identified the 2 people who were found in Lake Dubuisson. 21-year-old Leah Ali Kazan of Shreveport and 30-year-old Anthony Michael Murray of Rapides Parish were found with Murray's body in Kazan's vehicle that was submerged in the lake. Sheriff Bobby Guidreau says they're trying to find out what the relationship between the 2 were. One of the theories the police are working right now is that Kazan may have been kidnapped by Murray.
He had abducted the female, and from that point, Alexandria PD is trying to put it together.
Kazan was reported missing while visiting friends in Alexandria. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Greg Adams.
As the federal government prepares to unravel sweeping net neutrality rules that guarantee equal access to the Internet, advocates of the regulations are bracing for a long fight. The vote today, scheduled at the FCC, could usher in big changes in how you use the Internet. The proposal would roll back restrictions that keep broadband providers like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T from blocking or collecting tolls from services that they don't like. Generous tax cuts for corporations and the wealthiest Americans would be delivered in a sweeping overhaul of the tax laws under a new agreement crafted by Republicans in Congress. You could see more money in your paycheck as early as February. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Robert J. Wright here once again for Quirby's Golf Course, the golf course that everybody across the Arklatex is talking about, because every single day it's getting better and better, well on the way to being one of the best courses in the state of Louisiana. But right now Quirby's is great golf and so much more. Here's what I'm talking about. Have you been to the Quirby's restaurant, serving breakfast and lunch and of course great daily lunch specials? And golfers of all levels always want to get better. So find out about lessons and junior golf camps with Director of Player Development, Pete Lockwood. Quirby's Golf Course. What did I say? On the way to becoming one of the finest courses in the state of Louisiana. And when you make your tee time, find out about Quirby's Punch Card promotion. Always good to save a little money. Quirby's Golf Course. Make your tee time today. 673-7773. 673-7773. 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update. Here's my boy Ruben.
The intersection of Midway Avenue and Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Hamilton Road near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Partly to mostly sunny today, mild with a high of 65. Mainly clear with a low of 37 tonight. Sun, high 57 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Chris Hayes and the Chris Hayes team at Keller Williams Realty Northwest sells a house on average every 3 days. Yep, absolutely true. So the question is, if your house is on the market and it hasn't been selling and you're wondering, what do you do next? It might be time to call Chris Hayes. Find out about Chris's Guaranteed Sold program. If you and Chris sit down and agree on a price and a deadline and it doesn't sell, Chris buys your house. Once again, absolutely true. Don't get stuck with any agent that promises anything less. Get on the right track. Call Chris Hayes and the Chris Hayes team at Keller Williams Realty Northwest. The phone number is 687-SOLD. Or you can look online for details. No risk. Homeselling.com. And when you go to that Chris Hayes website, just enter the coupon code KEEL, and you'll get a free home warranty certificate worth $600. Chris Hayes and the Chris Hayes team at Keller Williams Realty Northwest.
A company is only as good as its people, and at Jack Spring Electric, they have a collection of the best. Jack Spring Electric is humbled every day by the excellence of their team. They will always work hard to provide exactly what their customer needs, whether an industrial plant, a commercial storefront, or your residence. If you want the job done right, within budget, on time, by a dedicated team player, Jack Spring Electric is the electrical contractor for you. Jack Spring Electric, 865-6225, or online at jackspringelectric.com.
Weather is brought to you by Jack Spring Electric. Online at jackspringelectric.com.
Good morning. It's 12 past 7 o'clock. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. KEEL app's a free download from Office Furniture Source. Okay, so dig up the story you had about Louisiana. Is there a sound bite that goes with that we can play?
Is this the health report?
Yeah, about how we're like horrible, about we're like number 49.
Yeah.
But the reasons why I find are intriguing, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. Go ahead.
Louisiana ranks 49 out of 50 states in a health ranking report. Joe Okapenti, he's a CEO of United Healthcare Louisiana.
Wanted to give you the chance to say that again because I can see you're so proud.
Thanks a lot. He says we've seen some positive health developments. He says obesity, premature death rates have decreased over the past year. He says another good factor in the report is the number of uninsured has seen a substantial decrease.
Yeah, well, that's because of the Medicaid expansion, and we're paying for that, but please continue.
But he says the Bayou State ranks near the bottom because a quarter of our residents smoke, and that raises other health-related problems.
Is there a soundbite goes with that, or is that plenty?
Yep, this is it. You ready?
Yeah.
The uninsured population decreased by about 17.2%. That's a phenomenal drop in a very good area, getting more people coverage.
So more people have coverage.
Well, you and I have talked about that before. If you have insurance and you're not paying for it, is it really insurance? You know what I mean? I mean, if you've got coverage, but somebody else, let me put it to you this way. In fact, let's jump past that for a second because my mind was headed in a different direction. The last sentence of your story about 20% of Louisiana smoke. I read an article a couple of days ago.
25%, a quarter.
Yeesh. Read an article a couple of days ago, and basically what it said was that 70% of all major health problems are, for all intents and purposes, self-induced, i.e., lifestyle.
Yep, obesity, smoking, too much drinking.
Okay.
Sugar.
And is it fair to say, because studies will show you this, that the vast majority of people who in this instance smoke are lower income people?
If they didn't smoke, they'd be upper income people.
Yeah, because they're damned expensive.
They are.
This is an analogy that is not mine, but I think it is fitting. let's say that I've got a car, and I'm driving my car.
Mm-hmm.
And I drive my car, and I decide, as part of my operating my vehicle, that I'm not going to put oil in the car. I'm just not.
Okay.
Just never going to do it. So eventually, at some point, maybe sooner, maybe later,
car blows up.
Car is going to burn up. The engine's going to burn up. So what if when my car engine burns up because of my negligence? What if when that engine, because I'm just not taking care of my engine, I want you to pay for it? And I'm saying, well, you know what? I can't pay for it. And but you were negligent.
Such a good point. It's such a good point. But can you mandate what people can eat? Is that really where we want to go?
How much do you want to pay?
Do we really want to tell people what they can eat?
Should you?
What they can put in their bodies? Do we really want to police that?
So how much?
We want the government to police our food?
I'm asking
Is that what you're
you.
saying?
I'm asking you theoretically. How much should you pay for the harm that someone else does to himself or herself?
The problem with that is if you police the folks who we're paying for, you're going to end up having to police all of us. And I would be one of those.
Pardon
you
me.
would start
Stop,
having to tell
stop
me
just a-
what
stop.
I can eat.
Stop just a second. Don't you think insurance companies kind of do that now? They do it. You don't think Matt, who sits in here and smokes 30 cigarettes a day, pays a surcharge on his insurance?
Probably.
Okay.
But
So
nobody tells me what I can and
Pardon
can't
me,
eat. If
but-
I want to drink my 12 Diet Cokes a day like the president does,
But people who
which
pay,
I don't, but
people who pay for their own insurance pay a penalty for their negligent behavior.
no, you don't pay an obesity penalty.
But you pay a smoking penalty, and
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about.
That's the only one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, if you are paying for someone else's insurance, and that person is smoking, i.e. 25% of Louisiana, you, in effect, are paying the smoking penalty for the poor people who smoke. You're
Yeah.
paying the smoking surcharge.
Right.
Which is
'Cause
what?
They cost more.
What is it, 10, 15?
I have no clue.
20% more? I don't know either.
No clue.
So, when someone drives the car and they decide not to put oil in the engine, when they decide, I'm just going to neglect my motor, I'm not going to take care of the car, and the car burns up, should you, Erin McCarty, be required to pay, because of their negligence, the cost of a new engine? What if everybody had to toss in a quarter? Well, it wouldn't be that much, but suddenly all of a sudden you've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 100 million people who aren't taking care of the engine. What's 25% of Louisiana?
That's a lot of folks. That's a lot of
So
folks.
what do we do? How do you handle that when you've got 1 out of 4 in Louisiana? Now, I'm sure it's less than that simply because not everybody who is on some sort of assistance, some people that smoke are not on assistance.
Of course,
But
yeah.
I would be willing to bet that the vast number of those are.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know. I think the same percentage of
Go to the Circle K and see who buys cigarettes.
yeah. But I still think the percentages are the same among any population.
The point I'm making is this. Should you have to pay for the new engine? Should you have to pay the person who is on Medicaid or
It's
some
a good point, but I
Should
just
you
don't want government coming up with other things.
Not
They got to
government.
tell me
No,
what
no.
I can and can't do.
Not government now. The insurance companies who charge you. I'll make that point again. You pay for your insurance. If you pay for your insurance and you smoke, you pay more for your insurance.
Right.
You are paying for the insurance of the underprivileged. If they smoke, you are paying extra for their bad habits.
So we should tell them to stop their bad habits.
You're paying more. You tell me what you want to do.
Then you can't just tell one group, oh, because you get public assistance, you have to stop your bad habits. You know how government does.
It's not
They will
government.
take that and stretch that. Ultimately, it is government making the rules about what you can tell people if you get government assistance.
When you go to Happy Belly, if you get a small, you pay one thing. If you get a large, you pay more.
Yes.
That's private enterprise. That's what the insurance companies are.
Well,
They
it would be
charge-
government would have to approve the rules. Trust me.
So you're happy paying what you're paying for all the people who are abusing.
I'm not happy about it. I just don't want the government telling me what I can and can't put in my body.
19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic and weather up next. Fletcher and Sports on the way.
ShreveportHelpWanted.com presents the world's worst boss, the one who posts jobs on huge national job sites, looking for anyone with a pulse. We'll just call him Dave.
Team, it's time for performance reviews again. This year, we're doing them like those roasts you see on TV. Hey, Tom, can you hear me? Of course you can. Your ears are freakishly large, but I guess they draw attention away from your ridiculous nose. Brenda, those tuna sandwiches you eat for lunch are stinky, but not half as stinky as your breath.
Dave, I think this is a bad idea.
I'll tell you what's a bad idea, Barry. Those pants, am I right?
I think I'm done here.
Wait, I still got more. Has anyone noticed how Johnson's wife looks like his mom, only older and less attractive? Oh man, this stuff is gold.
Don't work for a Dave. Find a boss you can respect. One who's looking for great and local talent at ShreveportHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
We don't discriminate against people named Dave. Dave is a common name, fun to say, and so we're using it as a catch-all for lackluster bosses everywhere. They post jobs on the big national job boards because they really don't care. Please do not write us to tell us you're a Dave who was insulted by this ad. That would be a real Dave move, Dave.
21 past 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Gilbert Drive near Kings Highway, and we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have any accidents, hazards, or closures to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Partly to mostly sunny today, mild with a high of 65. Mainly clear with a low of 37 tonight. Sun, high 57 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Good morning, 722. Traffic update. No, we just did that. Focus. Time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Mudbugs shut out Corpus Christi 2-zip Wednesday night on Georges Pond at Hirsch Coliseum. James Durham recorded his NAHL leading fifth shutout to help the Bugs improve their already league best record. After a scoreless first period, Roberts Baranovskis got the home team on board, and then 17-year-old Nikolai Jensen recorded his first goal as a Mudbug in the third period to set the final score. Jensen, mobbed by teammates immediately after lighting the lamp, told the Shreveport Times Roy Lang afterward, quote, "It feels nice you're liked on the team," end quote. After a quick trip Friday to take on the Lone Star Brahmas, the Bugs are back at home this weekend, Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Will Wade's LSU team recorded one of their best wins of the season last night, turning back Houston 80-77 in the PMAC. The Cougars were 8-1 before the game. With one of those wins, a drubbing of Arkansas earlier this month. Aaron Epps piled up 26 points and 16 rebounds. He added a huge three-point play with a rebound, hoop, and Harm hit the free throw to make it 80-74 in the final minute. Freshman Tremont Waters, who had 17 points, 6 assists, also had one block shot, and it was a doozy. He swatted away a potential game-tying three-pointer with 6 seconds to play. Houston did scramble for the rebound and got off one more shot, but it too misfired. And LSU's got some changes on the football staff. Jeff Grimes, the offensive line coach, is taking a job as the BYU offensive coordinator. And General Manager Austin Thomas, a key part of the recruiting process, is heading back home. He's a Franklin, Tennessee native, and he's taking a job at the University of Tennessee. James Craig, the LA Chargers offensive line coach who coached with Ed Orgeron at Tennessee and USC, will take over for Grimes as the Tigers offensive line coach. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. Call the tax helpline that's been set up for you. 800 800-486-9020. Stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. And if you choose tax mediation services to handle your federal tax resolution, they'll do your state tax case for free. Take down the number now for the Tax Mediation Services Hotline. 800-486-9020. That's 800-486-9020. 800-486-9020.
The pain in my foot had become so bad that I knew I had to have my bunion removed. I'd put it off way too long, and it was finally time to call Arklatex Foot and Ankle Specialists. Dr. Blair Drummond made me feel like I was part of the family, and I knew I had chosen the right place to have my foot procedure. They take care of you, and they make the process easy.
See the difference. Experience the difference. Arklatex Foot and Ankle Specialists. Call 687-8447. That's 687-8447.
$7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Still no word from about our news story. News rumor.
Still working on it.
Okay. I mean, it's like I said, it would be a huge story if it turns out to be true, but at this point, it's just a rumor. And it's sometimes we can go on with rumors on the air with kind of rumors if they come from really high sources.
Not this one.
And are kind of confirmed by like a couple or 3 or 4 people.
I'm not comfortable with this one.
No. Look, the final decision is yours, and I respect that. I would be a little reticent also to go with this one, but we'll see. We have put out feelers to people in responsible places as opposed to in here, to people in high places, and we'll see. It at the end of the day, if it turns out to not be true, we can tell everybody what it is.
Right.
And if it turns out to be true, we'll tell you right away. You every now and then you have an awesome idea, an awesome theory. You make a great argument. And sometimes, and my friends who know me know I do this, I will use your thoughts as my own. But what happened in this case is by using your thoughts as my own and using your argument as mine, I was pilloried, I was verbally abused, I was chastised, I was made fun of by my friends. And that's the idea that the Citrus Bowl game means absolutely nothing. And that all the star players shouldn't play, that Darius Guy should sit out, that Danny Etling should forego the contest.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
Now, as an LSU fan, does that bother you a little bit?
No.
Or you just kind of, that's just the system the way it is now.
That's the way it is. Get into one of the final 2 games, or just go and have a little fun trip.
If it were you, if it were your son, if you were Mrs. Geis.
Sit out. I am tying him to a chair at home. You have a future.
Does that sort of like turn you into a LeVar Ball guy?
No, it's protecting my son. It's investing in his future. What if I let him play and he breaks his leg in the Citrus Bowl? How would you feel? How awful would you feel about that?
But like I said, that's why I said, are you just LeVar Ball? Is your son nothing more than a commodity?
No, but you want to protect your children's futures if you can. And your advice would have to be, this game doesn't do anything for you. It's not going to help your draft status, yay or nay.
You've proven your value.
Exactly. You're already on folks' radar. Just stay home. If you want orange juice that bad, I'll get you some fresh squeeze.
So if the kid said, but Mom, I want to go. I owe it to the team. I want to play. These are my guys. I can't bail on my boys, yo.
Sweetheart, I know.
Would you try and talk him out of it?
I would absolutely try and talk him out of it.
Really?
Absolutely.
So if you're Mrs. Geis, if you're Mrs. Edling, if you're Mrs. what's the kid's name? Arden Key.
Please stay home.
You're saying don't play. Stay home.
Don't play.
Really?
It doesn't matter. What does it matter? What does it do for him? And I know it's a team game, and I know people are going to be screaming at me about it, and you play for a team. But at some point, you have to break away from that college And you have to start looking toward your future.
At what point during the regular season, let's say that Darius Geis had gained 200 yards in each of the first 5 games. He's got 1,000 yards 5 games into the season.
No, the season still matters.
You sit him down and you say, look, you've proven your worth.
No, the season still matters.
Something could go wrong.
Your team can still win an SEC championship.
Alabama's big and mean. You might hurt a knee.
Your team could still go undefeated in the SEC. Your team could, your team still needs you.
But if you were the kid's mom right now,
sit the bowl game out. Definitely sit the bowl game out.
29 past 7 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, Miss Erin Local News. It is up next. Traffic and weather updates on the way, too.
'Twas the holiday season, and all through the land, people were browsing and shopping for the best gifts on hand. The storefronts were crowded with the usual stock, a sweater, some mittens, a decorative clock. When what to our wondering eyes did appear but the lottery's brand new scratch-offs called Holiday Cheer. There are $1, $2, and $5 tickets to choose, or pick all 3 to cure those holiday blues.
Holiday cheer is here, so spread it far and near with these new instant scratch-offs from the Louisiana Lottery. Win up to $4,000, $15,000, or even $100,000. Stuff your stockings this season with Holiday Cheer. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
So give Holiday Cheer, a gift to amaze and delight. Season's greetings to all, and to all a good night.
A-Mark Metals is a metal roofing and steel building manufacturer, featuring residential and commercial panels and on-site stand and seam and custom trims, with almost every available color in stock to choose from. Order today, pick up today, or have one of our trucks delivered to site. We carry doors, insulation, fasteners, purlins, almost anything else you need for your roof or building project. Come by factory direct at our new facility in Bossier City. Call today, 318-752-6600, or visit amarkmetals.com.
You know how to tell if somebody's serious about their work? Look at their feet. If they stand in a pair of Red Wing shoes, that means they stand for something. Red Wing stands behind their boots. Their brands include Red Wing Works, Irish Setter Hunt, Irish Setter Work, Vask, and Red Wing Heritage. Red Wing measures your feet for ultimate fit and comfort. Red Wing Work and Sport boots are on sale. Red Wing on Uri Drive just north of Kroger and in Bossier next to Bossier Power Equipment. Red Wing Shoes. Work is our work.
Good morning. It's 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Time for the latest traffic. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Tooele Avenue near Lakeshore Drive. And we have some traffic delays on Old Minden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Mild today, partly to mostly sunny with a high of 65. Mainly clear, low 37 tonight. Sunshine and a high of 57 for tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The state facing a massive deficit, but as Brandon Michael reports, the governor has a plan.
Gearing up for budget woes in 2018, state lawmakers are preparing for a special session. The governor is expected to call lawmakers to Baton Rouge in February to try to come up with a plan to address the looming $1 billion plus shortfall the state faces when temporary taxes expire in the summer. I'm Brandon Michael on 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
Colonel Mike Edmondson under public scrutiny for how he spent taxpayer dollars during his time as leader of state police. The legislative auditor releasing a preliminary report showing Edmondson may have gotten special taxpayer-funded treatment for housing, food, and chauffeur service for his wife. Governor Edwards says when the report from the auditor is final, he'll address the findings. He says the people of the state should have all confidence in state police.
It's an excellent agency that is filled with dedicated, competent, professional people and headed by Kevin Reeves, who is doing an excellent job. He's doing a great job leading that agency under some difficult circumstances.
Edmondson retired in March after a travel scandal involving 4 of his troopers. That incident still under investigation. A huge loss in the education world. Dr. Vincent Marsala, who spent many years as chancellor of LSUS, has died. Dr. Marsala's funeral is Monday at 10 a.m. at St. Elizabeth Seton in Shreveport. He was 82. He retired 5 years ago. A report card on state efforts to improve financial literacy in our schools gives Louisiana a D, down from a B a couple of years ago. Mendon Representative Gene Reynolds believes financial literacy is not being taught as extensively as it should because schools are judged on how well students achieve in math and English.
Because their money and their performance scores were all tied to that, started focusing more on the reading and the math and things of that sort. So other things got put on the back burner.
Reynolds authored a law that requires financial literacy to be taught in high schools, but it appears some schools are only teaching personal finance as another existing course of study. A Benton car dealer pleads guilty in a bank fraud case. 41-year-old Larry Wayne Toms Jr. pled guilty to taking out $177,000 in fake loans for 3 cars that didn't exist. Toms entered a plea on 1 count of bank fraud. Louisiana once again ranks 49th out of 50 states in a health report. America's Health Rankings annual report analyzes 35 health guidelines. The United Care's Joe Okapinta says we've seen some positive health developments. He says obesity and premature death rates have decreased. He says another good factor in the report is the number of uninsured in Louisiana has gone down quite a bit.
The uninsured population decreased by about 17.2%. That's a phenomenal drop in a very good area, getting more people coverage.
Bayou State ranks near the bottom, he says, because a quarter of our residents still smoke. Tulane researcher has received $400,000 grant from the National Institutes of Health to study why men have more impulse control issues than women. Director of the Tulane Brain Institute, Jill Daniel, says they know impulsive behavior issues start when a person is a child and continue into adulthood. She says the study will look at how the prefrontal cortex of the brain produces undesired behaviors.
Little boys and girls exhibit this sex difference, and they haven't gone through puberty, so we suspect it's not testosterone and estrogen levels, that it's our brains being organized differently.
Daniel says if they're able to determine why men are more vulnerable to attention deficit disorder, it will lead to better treatment ideas. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
When it comes to donuts, you've got a lot of choices. There's a donut shop on just about every corner. But then there's Southern Made Donuts. Stop by your local Southern Made for piping hot, fresh donuts like no other. Southern Made, your favorite donut since 1941.
Hello, I'm Mark Porter with Porter's Fine Dry Cleaning and Porter's Industrial. All the Porter's team is pleased to be bringing you these wonderful sounds of the season. Porter's Cleaners is excited to bring Coats for Kids to the Arklatex for the 30th year. This year, share the warmth and donate a new or gently used coat. So drop off your donation at any Porter's location. Then we'll clean it and fix it up and give it to a child in need. On behalf of everybody at Porter's Cleaners, this is Mark Porter wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And thanks for helping Porter's with Coats for Kids.
You know how to tell if somebody's serious about their work? Look at their feet. If they stand in a pair of Red Wing shoes, that means they stand for something. Red Wing stands behind their boots. Their brands include Red Wing Works, Irish Setter Hunt, Irish Setter Work, Vask, and Red Wing Heritage. Red Wing measures your feet for ultimate fit and comfort. Red Wing Work and Sport Boots are on sale. Red Wing on Uri Drive just north of Kroger and in Bossier next to Bossier Power Equipment. Red Wing Shoes. Work is our work.
FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. You know how like music publishing works, you know, like BMI, the organizations are BMI Broadcast Music and ASCAP associated.
They get a cut, yep.
Do you realize that there are people like Mannheim Steamroller, groups, Mannheim Steamroller, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, who like 75% of their royalties all in about 65 days.
Yeah.
Like owning a meat shop, you know, suddenly at the holidays, you know, it's all turkeys and turduckens and pies. You do more than half your business over a 60-day period. Okay, what you got?
Senator Greg Tarver is going to join us next. He wrote a letter to the governor, real concerned about the Shreveport Med School.
So all these people that are sort of on board with the agreement or the agreement, it's about to happen. We hope it happens soon. John Bell, Jay Darden, we had him on a couple or 3 days ago talking about that. It could happen within days. And I had said, wow, there's a lot of people who have sort of, they've compromised, they've bent a little bit in their ideologies to sort of make all this happen, to put this together. And yet there are some local folks, he among them, who may not think it's such a good idea.
Right.
And he has sent a letter to the governor expressing his concerns. Mr. Gregg is up next, 739, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic and weather updates on the way right here.
Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. Every Army National Guard member serves not only to protect the nation, but also their local communities, so they each have a stake in the security and well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. Since the early days of our republic, the Army National Guard has continued its timeless commitment to guarantee peace and security for all Americans, a proud legacy which has endured for nearly 4 centuries. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Juella Avenue near Lakeshore Drive. And we have some traffic delays on Old Minden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, partly to mostly sunny today, mild with a high of 65, mainly clear with a low of 37 tonight, sun, high 57 tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Good morning, 741. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. Don't forget about the KEEL app. It's a free download. Holiday introductions, please.
We're joined by State Senator Greg Tarver today to talk about University Health, the LSU Med School. Good morning, Senator, and Merry Christmas to you.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you.
Your letter to Governor Edwards that was dated 2 days ago, I appreciate you guys sharing that, your office sharing that with us. You have some strong concerns about the med school. Can you elaborate?
My problem is the med school is actually needs to be controlled by the Board of Supervisors in Baton Rouge, and nobody, any other entity other than that should be able to deal with the control of the med school. I don't want a hospital coming in here and decide that they can veto the chancellor and veto deans and chairmanships. That is my concern, because you can't have two masters. You have to have one head.
You had mentioned in the letter that everybody who's putting this deal together, from the governor on down, Jay Darden, etc., everybody seems to be sort of on board with Ochsner. I don't want to say replacing, but sort of stepping up and in some ways taking the place of Biomedical Research Foundation. But you have a couple of concerns about Ochsner coming in. What are those?
Well, my concern, number one, is they have a medical school in Australia. I don't want them basically to come in here and bring in interns and replace our interns. I don't want the intern residents here to be moved anywhere else but to stay in Shreveport, Louisiana, because that is the reason why it would help our med school grow tremendously, is because of residents and interns.
You're hearing that Ochsner is interested in taking over the med school. You're hearing rumors. You've asked the governor about it. What kind of response have you gotten, and are you hearing anything more on what they want?
Well, the governor said to me last week, a week before last, that they're not going to take over, but they're going to participate. And I want to know the limit of participation. Are they going to be on a committee, which is nothing wrong with being on a committee, but the chancellor is the one that operates the med school. He should be the one to make decisions for the med school.
Mr. Gregg, if the governor, if in your conversations with Mr. John Bell, he has given you sort of these face-to-face promises that everything's going to be okay, yet less than a week later you turn around and write him a letter voicing your concerns. What is it that you didn't buy what he said? Why the letter?
Well, let me tell you, where there's smoke, there's fire sometimes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been hearing all over Louisiana about they want to come up here and dictate to the LSU med school, and I don't want that to happen. And I don't think the citizens in Shreveport or North Louisiana want that to happen. We want to be able to have Baton Rouge, the board of trustees, and the board of supervisors, to control the med school, not the individuals that. And now, no, they're not coming up here to move. They're going to replace BRL.
Right.
They're going to take over 100% of the operation. BRF is not going to have any say-so in this.
You also asked the governor that you want to see the preliminary agreement between LSU and Ochsner. Have you gotten your hands on that agreement yet, and what can you tell us about it?
Not yet. It says it's in the work stage, and work stage is basically work papers is not public right now.
Has anybody from the governor's office gotten back to you in reference to your letter yet?
Yes, I've talked to some people down in Baton Rouge. I'm waiting for more information.